the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra, with Mother Sita and Brother Lakshman. Come, my dear ones, let me show you what my waters still whisper, the story that once unfolded on my blessed banks. On the orders of King Dashrath, Lord Ram was exiled to the forest. Agastya Muni was overjoyed to receive Lord Ramachandra in his hermitage. With great reverence, he offered powerful mystic weapons to Rama. Understanding the divine purpose behind the Lord's appearance, Agastya Muni suggested them to move further south and settle in a sacred forest, which would provide them both nourishment and shelter, making it an ideal place to reside. Let us joyfully welcome our dear Lord in this beautiful forest, Panchavati.
पंचवटी मन भावन उपवन पंचवटी मन भावन उपवन जिस उपवन में मन को मोहे श्री रघुवर की चितवन मोहक चितवन सुंदर चितवन कोमल कलियां खिल खिल जाए लता वृक्ष से मिल मिल जाए दादुर मोर पपीहा गाए मधुर मधुर स्वर हर पल मधु स्वर हर पल मधु स्वर हर पल टूट गए पिंजरे के बंधन मुक्त हुए पंछी के गुंजन टूट गए पिंजरे के बंधन मुक्त हुए पंछी के गुंजन मोहक मंद सुगंध पवन से महक रहा है मधुबन प्यारा मधुबन मेरा मधुबन मन आनंदित पुलकित काया चंदन वट की शीतल छाया साजन के संग इस उपवन में लौट के आया बचपन पंचवटी मन भावन
Time passed quickly. Although the Lord had the desire to encounter demons, till now there were none. Then one day, a powerful Rakshasi named Surpanakha, sister of Ravan, came to the Panchavati region. As she came near the hermitage, she saw Ram seated outside his hut. She was immediately attracted to the handsome Ram with his powerful frame and majestic demeanor. Her mind filled with lust. She assumed the form of a beautiful woman and walked slowly before him.
Oh, look, how handsome and captivating you are. Who are you? Dressed in deerskin, yet holding weapons. Oh, Rajiv Lochan, why are you in this ferocious and deadly forest?
I am Ram, the son of King Dashrath, and this is my brother Lakshman. The princess of Mithila, Sita, is my wife. On my father's command, I am dwelling in this forest. Now, tell me, who are you, young maiden?
My name is Surpanakha, the sister of Ravan. I instill fear in all the creatures in this forest. But you, oh Ram, I must frankly admit that I am in love with you. There is no man equal to you and no women equal to me. We surely are a perfect match.
Oh, beautiful woman, I am already married. For gorgeous ladies like you, won't it be difficult to tolerate a co wife? Instead, here is my younger brother. He is handsome and all powerful. Therefore, I suggest you marry him.
Oh, dear handsome, you are as beautiful and attractive as your elder brother. Let me be your wife, and we will roam around and enjoy.
Oh, lovely lady, why you have come to me? You should know that I'm nothing but just a servant of my elder brother. Thus, if you marry me, it would mean that you'll become maid servant. I think it's better for you to be Ram's wife. Seeing your beauty, he will surely accept you.
Oh, Rama, accept me as your wife. I'm a suitable partner for you.
But how is this possible, oh dear lady? I feel Lakshman only will be a better match for you.
No. Don't take my brother's words seriously. Dear lady, how can such a gorgeous woman like you become a wife of servant like me? Become the wife of my lord, Ram.
Enough of this now. All of this is happening because of this lady. If she is the one who is coming between you and me, O Ram, I will eat her up at once. You don't know what you have done. I will take my revenge. You are going to repent for this. I am the sister of Almighty and victorious Ravana.
With this pastime, the place came to be known as Nashik. Surpanakha enters Khar and Dushana's palace, crying and groaning horribly.
Oh dear sister, it pains me to see you in such a state. Tell me, who has done this to you? Who could possibly have been so bold to attack you? Tell me more about him. I guarantee you that he'll meet his end today with my hands.
I came across two brothers in forest, young, handsome, yet invincibly powerful. They look like the divine beings, though dressed as sages. They were accompanied by a woman, and because of her, I have been reduced to this stage. Oh brother, I want you to drink their blood. Quickly, satisfy my desire, dear brother. Slaughter them all.
Khar sent 14 powerful soldiers along with Surpanakha to kill Lord Ram at his hermitage. Lord Ramachandra, moving with divine speed, unleashed a storm of 14 arrows. One by one, the demons screamed in agony as the arrows pierced their hearts. Surpanakha ran away in fear and disappointment and fell again before Khar.
What happened, my dear sister? I have already sent the 14 mightiest and undefeatable warrior Rakshasas. Without a doubt, they'll fulfill your desire.
Brother, your 14 warriors were slaughtered in an instant by Ram. His power is beyond imagination. His arrows are like rods of death. Oh Khar, I tremble in fear just by thinking of Ram. You must protect me. And if you are truly powerful, then go prove it. Go face Ram in the battle. If you have real might, slay the two brothers today and avenge me and the 14 warriors you have lost.
My fury knows no bounds. This mere human Ram's life has already ended. Dushan, gather our army. Today Chanstan shall tremble.
Ram hears the coming of Khar's army and the loud beating of drums. Ram asks Lakshman to take Sita to a safe cave in the mountains which is known today as Sita Gufa. A fierce battle starts. Surpanakha flew to Lanka to inform Ravan of the news of the Janasthan, the annihilation of the mighty Khar and Dushana along with his entire army. She also tells Ravan about the fateful accident she met when she tried to subjugate Ram.
Ram is ever glorious. His arrows, they bring death to demons. His brother Lakshman is utterly devoted like Ram's own shadow. Both are invincible in battle. And by Ram's side stands Sita, his wife, radiant, divine, and beyond words. Her dark eyes, her golden skin, she glows like goddess Lakshmi herself. No woman in this universe matches her beauty. Such beauty is only worth for you, dear brother. And I tried to bring her to you, but these brothers, they attacked me. Only you have strength to take her from Ram. Go to the forest, dear brother, and see her beauty with your own eyes.
Sita. No one can stop me from coming to you now.
Ravan reaches Marit's hermitage.
Welcome, great king. I hope everything is well in Lanka. What brings you here in this lonely jungle?
My entire army, led by the powerful Khara, has been destroyed by Ram. I am here to seek your assistance in abducting Rama's wife Sita. By this, I'll be able to overpower Ram and defeat him.
Ram. Which enemy in the guise of a friend has given you this advice? The person who has advised you this clearly seeks to flee the world of demons. Oh Ravan, you should not even think of looking at Ram. When I used to eat sages alive in Vishwamitra Muni's ashram, Ram was just a little boy at that time, and with a single arrow, he threw me 800 miles away into the ocean. My fear of Ram has made me adopt the life of a hermit. I live in constant fear of that prince. In no ways shall I be able to stand before Ram again.
Maricha, I did not ask you any benefits or losses of my intentions. I have told you what I require. You are left with nothing but carrying it out. Perhaps when you approach Ram, you will face some danger. But if you reject me, you will meet immediate and certain death at my hands. Now do what you feel is best.
You are a slave to your senses, O king. I simply pity you. I shall fulfill your order, but take me as already killed as I come in sight of Ram, and consider yourself with all your dynasty dead the moment you take away Sita.
Marich turns himself into a magical golden deer and slowly wanders around Ram's hermitage.
Oh Swami, Bhrata Lakshman, come quickly. I saw an astonishing sight. A magical golden deer is roaming around our ashram.
A golden deer? Where is it?
Come here. See Swami, this deer has stolen my mind. Please capture it for me.
Jesh Brata, I feel this animal cannot actually be a deer. This kind of deer doesn't exist on the planet. This surely must be Rakshasa in disguise, and I suspect it to be Marich.
Oh Swami, this cannot be a Rakshasa. It is so attractive. I have never seen a deer like this anywhere. Can you not fulfill this desire of me, Swami?
Lakshman, you see Sita is so captivated by this deer. I must catch it for her. If, as you say, it's a Rakshasa in disguise, then he will meet his end. I will capture the deer, alive or dead. But be careful, there are many demons in the forest. Do not leave Sita alone under any condition.
Marich fled deep into the forest with Ram chasing him. The demon disguised as a golden deer stayed just out of reach. Ram realizes it's no ordinary animal. It is a demon and draws a celestial arrow and shoots it. The arrow strikes Marich in the heart, revealing his true Rakshasa form. With his dying breath, Marich remembers Ravan's plan and cries out in Ram's voice. Hearing the cry coming from the forest, Sita and Lakshman get confused.
Sita!
Oh Bhrata Lakshman, did you hear your brother's voice? I feel he must be in danger. Please go quickly and help him. My heart is beating loud with fear.
Oh mother, do not worry. There is nothing that could harm him. No demons, no demigods can conquer him. This is clearly a trap.
But what if it's not? Will you risk your brother's life? How can you be so hard-hearted? You seem to be glad to see the plight of your brother.
Be at ease, O gentle princess. He will soon return, having killed the Rakshasa who took the form of the deer. The demon must have uttered the cry, imitating Bhrata's voice. Please understand, mother. I cannot leave you alone in this courtyard, as per my brother's command.
Lakshman, it's obvious that you are happy to see him in danger. You have been hiding your true nature all along. You posed as our well-wisher, but your heart is filled with lust for me. But mark this, your sinful desire shall never be fulfilled.
Mother, your words are piercing me like a steel arrow. You're worshipable to me. Hence, I cannot argue with you. Although your husband doesn't know danger, if you want me to go that badly, I'll take this dangerous step. I shall depart and search for him.
Lakshman draws the Lakshman Rekha.
Mother, as long as you stay within this line, no harm shall come to you. But please remember, do not step beyond this line, no matter what you see or hear.
While Lakshman goes in search of Ram, danger looks in the shadow for Mother Sita. Ravan, as sage, enters.
Blessings to you, O Devi. I have come from far away and I am very tired. I have come begging at your door. Please give me some prasad and a place to rest.
Mahatma, pranams to you. I shall get prasad for you.
Sita goes to get prasad, while Ravan realizes that he cannot enter the cottage because of the Lakshman Rekha. He sits beside the cottage and waits for Sita.
O Mahatma, please come and accept these offerings.
Devi, as I am so tired, I thought of sitting and resting for a while. I don't want to get up again. Can you please come and serve me prasad?
Forgive me, noble one, but my brother-in-law Lakshman has drawn this line for my protection. I cannot cross it. Please step forward and accept this offering here.
Oh Devi, that's disrespectful towards a tapasvi. Denying alms to a brahmana is a great sin. I am aware that your husband has gone in search of a deer. I will curse him.
O Mahatma, please be merciful. I have come to serve you.
Oh lady, I forgive you. Tears do not suit your moon-like face. You are like a tender lotus flower. My mind is stolen away by your beauty, which is unmatched in the universe.
Are you not ashamed of saying such horrible things? Who are you in the face of a Mahatma?
I am Ravan, the king of Lanka. Become my foremost queen, O Sita.
Ravan lifts the earth, then carries Sita to his chariot. Sita calls Ram at the top of her voice. Filled with grief, she wails like a mad woman. She calls for the trees, cries to the river, to the animals and birds, asking them to tell Ram what happened. Jatayu sees Sita and comes flying.
Jatayu, help me. I'm being abducted by Ravan. Please quickly find your lord and inform him.
Oh Ravan, I won't let you take Sita in my presence. Stop at once or you will be destroyed.
Yeah! You foolish old bird! You are here to give me knowledge! Go and rest in your nest! You dare to anger me, the great Ravan!
You sinner, I may be old, but I will destroy your arrogance. Sita is like my daughter and the dear wife of Ram. I will protect her even at the cost of my life.
Jatayu fights courageously, but after a fierce battle, Ravan tore off Jatayu's wings. The great vulture fell on the ground, dying. Ram races towards his hermitage in anticipation of a calamity. Suddenly, he sees Lakshman approaching him.
Oh dear brother, what have you done? Why did you leave Sita? Without a doubt, she is now dead or stolen by Rakshasas.
Forgive me, my lord. Her harsh and desperate words forced me to come to you. She simply wouldn't let me stay.
Lakshman, why did you take Sita's words to heart when she was blinded by emotion? You knew I asked you to stay. How could you let anger cloud your judgment and abandon your service? Now we would surely meet a calamity.
Ram and Lakshman reached the cottage.
Sita? Oh Sita! Oh Sita! Where are you? The forest feels lifeless. The trees mourn. The flowers fade. Surely Sita has been snatched or something has happened to her. Or are you hiding in sport, oh Sita? Answer me. Oh Kadamba, oh Bilba, oh Arjuna tree. Where is Janak's princess?
Oh, noble brother, don't lose your heart. Even in disasters, great souls like you remain steady. She cannot be so far. It's not been so long since I left her. Come, let's search for her together.
The two brothers were guided by the deer which pointed towards the south. On their way, they see drops of blood. They soon come upon Jatayu lying on the ground, drenched in blood.
Oh Jatayu, oh noble bird, what happened to you?
Oh my lord, I was waiting for you, Sita, and indeed my life have both been snatched away by Ravan, the king of Lanka. He came like a storm through the skies. I fought him with all my strength, but age has left me with no power. He chopped my wings and fled toward the south. But my lord, I assure you that you will be soon able to find Mother Sita.
Speak more! Oh dear Jatayu, speak more! Alas, dear brother, this noble bird gave up his life for my sake. It is clear, true valor and virtue are not limited to humans alone. Even among the lower beings, such greatness shines.
Ram performed the last rites of Jatayu and shot an arrow in the ground and asked all the shrines to give water to Jatayu. This place is therefore called as Sarvatirtha Taked. The Ramayana further continues with Lord Ram's search for Sita. As our humble presentation of a part of Ramayana comes to a close, let us reflect on the eternal truths it holds. The journey of Lord Ram is not just a tale of good triumphing over evil, but a path of righteousness, duty, love, and sacrifice. May we carry these teachings in our hearts and strive to walk the path of truth, humility, and compassion in our own lives. Thank you, everyone. Jai Shri Ram.